as part of Rajagiri Sports Club and in collaboration with Inflore 16th edition. We are here to give you tips, tricks, mythbusters on how to be fit and how to sustain that fitness lifestyle. So we have here Mr. Ashwin TM. He is my friend for the last 5 years. He's my personal trainer. I don't know, he is the goat of fitness industry. I mean, seriously, let me tell you about him. He's actually a strength and fitness conditioning coach. He has ACE certification, American Council for Exercise certification. He has an ISA certification. He has an NLP, which is Neuro Linguistic Program. I actually Googled about it, and trust me, I didn't even understand that. So, and just so on. He has a yoga certification, Pilates, diet and nutrition, functional training, and so on and so on. So I hope that we can get the maximum benefit out of him, and he has a nice time too. Hello, Ashwin, and welcome to the program.
Thank you for welcoming me in, guys. Happy New Year, by the way. I hope, and I thank for Rajgiri for inviting me to this program. And I'm happy, like, you guys are interested into fitness. Like, most of the guys on this age are into trucks and stuff. So happy to see you guys getting part into this stuff. Yeah,
Yes, yes,
I hope we
yes,
can
Ashwin.
begin.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's get to it. So first of all, the major myth buster is no pain, no gain really applicable in the gym? Like when you're working out, do you need to be like drenched in sweat, or you have to be sore the next day? Is that really true? Do you need to be sore the next day to gain muscle or to be fit?
It depends on the individual's experience with the gym. Like if it's a beginner, if you are going for no pain no gain stuff, then eventually it will end up in only pain and no gain. Okay, that's where we are going to end up. And we kind of need a what recovery is really important when coming to training and all, especially in the beginning period, like when a guy is joining the gym, and a duration of like 6 months is really important, where he tries to learn the workout, what the postures, and the way his body is going to adapt and all. We have to give it some time. People need like quick results and all, but this is a true story. Like we had to spend some time. We had to make our body like adjust to those kind of stress and what the loads and all. And we had to eventually like try to build our tissue capacity, which can bear these loads and the kind of efforts like we are putting into our body, right? So that will help us in the long run to have a really good body and a really functional body. If you're going for a no pain no gain kind of attitude, then eventually you'll end up in an injury, mostly a muscle tear or something like that, and you won't
All
be
right.
able to perform really well in a daily life manner.
So basically, you need to train our
That's
body
where we'll end
slowly
up
by adding the body weight
slowly.
exercises. And is that what
Yes,
is that what you have to do?
yeah, that's what I meant. Like, see, bodybuilders, they are really good at the gym. Not bodybuilders, the guys who are going to the gym are really good at the gym stuff, the gym workouts and stuff. But when they are coming to the real life scenarios, like they face all kind of injuries, like what jumping what like walking a flight of stairs without any break and all. People have having knee cramps and knee injuries and all. This is a simple function which a body does, but they are not able to cope up with that kind of intensity. It's a We can't consider it as an intensity thing, but still out of this what the gym realm, right? The fitness realm which they used to do in the gym, when they are coming out of that thing, it ends up in an injury. So this is
I
because
see.
of this no gain, no pain thing that is going around. So
Okay.
like now people are against it actually. Like even bodybuilders, they are against it right now.
Yeah. I think it's more of a conventional kind of training than going to the lifting stages, right?
Yeah, and the misconception. There's a thing like we see like when we are watching this bodybuilding videos and all, we see that the bodybuilders are lifting like tons of weights and all, right? And what the general public thinks like, okay, we too have to lift those kinds of weight. I personally have a my uncle. He my dad's friend. He has trained with Ronnie Coleman and many Olympian bodybuilders and all, and they hardly take 24 5 kgs or something like that. That's the heaviest they do while training. not on cameras. On cameras, they go for like a ton kilo steps and all. But
I see.
when they are personally training, they go hardly for like 25, 30 kgs as their maximum, and they try to put that weight into the muscle rather than throwing up the weights. They
I
try to
see.
feel the intensity of the weight, and they try to transfer that into the muscle,
I see.
transfer
So
the
it's
load into the muscle.
mainly an Instagram gimmick. You're saying that they're trying to show that this
Yeah,
looks like
that's mainly for public. Yeah, yeah, that's
that
it.
that
That's it. They are
used to
actually
me.
trying to motivate those people. Yeah, that's the thing. And what when people try to mimic that, they end up in injury, and they think like, okay, we are not made for this this event or sports, something like that. And but see, if we are conditioning our body in a right way, we can do anything. Our body is capable of doing anything. If you want to be a gymnast, yeah, at the age of 25, then yeah, you can do it. But you have to have a decent plan how you are going to reach to the final goal, rather than rushing into different kind of techniques and all.
I see.
Yeah.
So another question that some of my friends have asked me: does women going to the gym make them bulky?
No, never. Um,
Oh,
that too is another misconception actually. Like what women doesn't have that much kind of that ton of testosterone in their body. There's a hormone named testosterone that helps us build more muscle. That's what makes us different from women, different from men, right? And even if they are working out, they won't get bulky as we see in this Olympia events. And there's a limit for women to get bulky. Other than they use some sorts of steroids or something like that, they won't be able to like gain that much of a huge muscle mass. And it's really good like woman training for strength training, right? It will eventually like help them build their bone tissues and all. It will make them stronger and leaner too, because like women, they face this period things and all, right? So they lose a ton of blood through their period time, and uh, during their menstruation periods, right? They use a ton of blood, and with that, they lose a ton of calcium too. So at that time, their like bones are really vulnerable, and it is like more prone to fracture. And that's why women after like 29, they easily have a fracture. If we are looking at this, what the numbers, right? A woman after 29, they usually have a small, like a hairline fracture to a complete bone fracture. This is due to this stuff. Especially in India, like women doesn't do weight training other than cardio. They just wanna what burn their fats and stuff. So women should weight train according to me, but it won't make them bulky. It will make them more sexy.
all right. That is for everybody in Rajagiri to hear that weight training is good. It saves your bones. It helps your bones get stronger, and it makes you look good. So moving on, you said about fat reduction. So a lot of my friends also ask
Yeah.
me about spot reduction, like lower belly fat, arm fat, thigh fat, whatever it may be. Can they reduce a particular body part of fat?
They can't directly reduce that. There's no such thing as sport reduction. It's just a gimmick. Like we can do sport reduction, but it's with the help of some machines and all. Other than that, like naturally, with training, we can't reduce it directly, because fat is basically an energy storage in our body. Okay, we see fat as an enemy, but actually it's a good thing, because in our body, fat plays like a really good role in like what dissolving vitamins and all. There are fat soluble vitamins and minerals, and our body is protected with this good fat too, for heart functions and all. There is LDL and HDL and all. So fat has its own purpose in our body. But when trying to lose fat, we can't directly hit into a particular spot. Like, okay, I got love handles. I had to get just I had to just get rid of this love handle stuff. We can't do that. It's an overall process. Like if you are trying to burn fat, you will burn your overall body fat. Okay, that too. With my experience, what I have found is like you burn the fat which you lastly gained, right? Like like you previously gained a fat, like how can I say that? The new fat in your body, like the new deposit of fat, that's what burns first, and the old deposit of fat that burns in the end. Like
Okay, so you're saying
after
that
when you are following all the diet steps and that.
if
Yeah,
you have stomach fat in the beginning, but then you get bigger and bigger later on, but then when you try to cut down, your first fat reduction would be from all your other parts, and from your stomach would be the last part.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's
That's
how
actually,
things happen actually.
yeah.
And
That's actually,
like, yeah, sport reduction is a gimmick.
so what kind of fats are
If a
good
trainer tells
and
you like he can spot reduct the fat, then
yeah, go ahead.
like, yeah. So if a trainer tells you like, yeah, I can spot reduct that particular part of your body, then don't go for that trainer. Then
Oh, so he's a fake.
like, he's not a good trainer. Then. Yeah,
I
he's a
see.
fake.
So everybody, this is the another myth that trainers say. If you can spot, they can spot reduce a particular body part, spot reduce fat of a particular body part. They're lying. Keep that in mind. And according to you, Mr.
Just
Ashwin,
just quote
would you?
unquote with training, with workouts and training, they can't do that unless the help of a particular machines or something like that, a
I see.
different
So
procedure that a trainer can't do. Yeah,
makes sense. That makes sense.
yeah,
So
that's
everybody
true.
watching, keep that in mind. So another thing is that you were talking about fats. What all fats are
Mhm.
considered good and bad according to you?
So we'll keep it simple. Like there is HDL and LDL fats, right?
Yeah. So
There are two
where
kinds
does
of fat. Like there are many
LDL,
kinds of fat.
where does HDL
It
and
basically
LDL
comes
come?
from food. The
All right.
Yeah, I think it's better we don't go for that because it like it's a long topic. Like
I see.
the low density fat as this thing, and high density fat goes into another lecture.
All right. I see. I see. So
So it's better
basically,
we don't
fish
hit into
fats are
that
kind
thing.
of good. I
High
heard
density
fish.
fat is really good. Yeah, yeah. Fish oil is a what? It's a substance as we like. If you're getting a cake, right? Cake has what carbohydrate, fat, and what protein in it. Like every food has this macronutrient and micronutrient things.
Yeah,
And when we what get into fat, it's also like distributed into many sectors. It's better we don't go over there right now
yeah,
because the
yeah.
session that what it needs another hour of lecture.
I see. I see. Okay.
So
I
just
see.
keep it simple. High density like fats is good, and low density is
I see.
not good.
Make-
That's the simple way.
So then, all right. Another misconception people say that I hear, and I know it's wrong, that when you do crunches, you get six pack, and only if you do crunches, you're going to get six pack. Is that right? Let's hear it from you.
No. Yeah, crunches gives you six pack, right? That's a true answer in a way. But if you have a layer of fat in front of it, then that definition won't come out, right? So you need to do some cardio steps and follow some diet deficit calorie diets and all to get rid of the fat that is covering your abs first. Okay,
So
if you are doing a biceps curl, that's a workout which helps your muscle to build, right?
yeah,
Crunches are just the similar thing for abs. You're trying to build the ab muscle, it doesn't burn the fat over there. It'll just make when the muscle is like getting bigger, right? You'll get a bit more tighter skin, so you feel like you're getting more definition into it. But the first thing we have to do is get rid of the fat that's covering your abs.
I see. So basically, what they say is abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. That's true, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true,
Right. So
and even our lifestyle plays a big role in it. Other than diet, like
yeah,
if you're having food and you're going directly into bed, all those direct what digestion steps get messed up and all.
I see.
So we have to even follow a really good lifestyle pattern too.
I see. So basically, you need to be in a calorie deficit and do ab crunches as well to get six pack.
Yeah, that's what I said. If like when you were doing when we were training together, right? Like
Yeah,
you actually had a shredded body. Yeah. From there, we what we did was we didn't go for calorie deficit after a particular period of time. What we did
yeah,
was we went for maintenance stuff. There
yeah.
you don't gain muscle, you don't gain fat. It's a flat baseline.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't always have to go for calorie deficit. Once you reach your goal, right, you have to go for a normal food thing. You have to go for carbs. You have to go for food, what fats and proteins, everything,
I see.
because our body needs everything, and our body especially craves for carbs and fat.
I see. So
So we have
another
to
thing.
help our body attain those.
So another thing
Yeah,
is while
go on.
dieting, people say you shouldn't
Mhm.
eat from outside. You shouldn't eat fast food. So is that really true? Like, can you have some fun at the same time while dieting?
Yeah, we can actually have fun. We don't have to like crush all our cravings, right? We have to have something. See, whatever you eat, even if it's a KFC, or if you're going for junk foods like KFC or pizza or something like that, it to have like what eventually it is digested into carb, protein, and fat, right? So like once in a while, yeah, you can have that, but there is a ratio in between that. Rather than having a whole family meal pizza all by yourself, just try to have a couple, like a four slices of pizza or something like that, just to hit your craving down.
I see. I see.
Otherwise, eventually, like you will go out of control and you will be eating the whole Pizza Hut all by yourself.
I
We
see.
shouldn't like go for that kind of stuff.
I
So
used
we
to be.
have to like what please our craving. Yeah, I have seen that. So
So
we
basically,
have to like what satisfy our cravings at a time. Not
I
always,
see.
but once in a while. Yeah.
Makes sense. So even if you go the wrong way and eat junk food, you just have to get back into your routine. That's basically the whole
Yeah,
picture.
that's it. Yeah, when we are focusing on a regular client, right, a regular individual, not a one, not the guy who is going for going for a competition and all,
Yeah.
it's fine. He can have something. He should enjoy the life. Even the training should be the same way. It's not like they have to go and what or train as they are a slave over there or something like that. They should enjoy the moment. Once they start
I see.
enjoying, like automatically their body will start to develop dopamine and happy hormones and all. I'm making
Yeah.
it simple rather than going for the scientific things. The dopamine, happy hormones and stuff like that. So they will feel refreshed and stressed out and all,
I
like
see.
out of stress and all. They'll be really chilled.
Yeah. When they have their own happy food,
So that's
right?
how we do things, right? Yeah, yeah. Like what? Like even when we were training together, like I could see Rahul's will to live was going down gradually as we were following the diet in a particular manner. After when we went for a cheat meal, then everything was fine.
I
So we
know.
have to like respond to our needs, which our body is trying to what indicate. We have to
Yeah.
address those problems which are coming up.
So
Yeah,
basically, it's not the diet, it's the individual. You look at the individual and then change the diet accordingly.
yeah,
Yeah. Makes sense.
yes, and yeah, that's it. And we have to learn
And then
how
another,
this individual is going to come. If a guy from yeah,
go ahead, go ahead. If a guy is coming,
if a person from North India is coming and we are trying to give him mota chawal and stuff, he won't be able to survive for too long. Okay, once you give him a piece of roti or something like that, he'll be really satisfied because his abdomen, what his stomach is used to those kind of stuff, and it will be digested really quick. And same way, if you are going to North and if you are trying to have like North Indian kind of foods, right? For after a particular time, you will feel a bit weak and lethargic and all. It's
your
due to
body's
this
not
digestion
used to it.
steps going on there. Yeah, your body is not used to it. So we have to understand what the individual is from and where he is from and all. Like if you are searching on the internet and you see like you have to drink like 5 liters of water a day, okay,
Yeah.
so when it comes to Dubai, when it's summer season over here, it's like really hot over here, and the summer is like really exhausting, and we sweat like hell over here. So for us 5 liters won't do anything. We should go for something like 7 liters of water a day. And at the same time, if you're going for a guy in Russia or what uh, in
Cold region.
Antarctica or something like that, yeah, in a cold region, like he doesn't have to drink 5 liters of water a day. He might need only 2.5 or 3 liters of water a day because he won't be sweating much. So we have to make like we have to understand what our surrounding is, what our food is. That'll make us like reach the goal really fast, rather than going for like okay, Rock is eating that, or what Ronnie Coleman is eating that. Don't go for that. What
I see.
helps you digest really quick, and that will help you more to reach your goal.
Makes sense. It's very interesting that you said according to your situation and surroundings, your water
Situation,
level has to be
region, and your culture. Even your culture plays a role into it.
interesting. Very interesting. So another thing you were talking about diet and drinks, diet drinks and juice cleanses. How far do you
Mhm.
think this is safe, and do you think it works? All these diet juices, cleanses, and all that drinks
See,
that are
actually,
advertised. Yeah.
yeah, it does work. It does work actually, but I won't advocate for that actually. The thing is like, see, when you're trying a juice diet, right, it will really bring some change in your body. Okay, because you are having something that was really what filled with junk foods and all. And
Mm-hmm.
this alternative, the juice only diet alternative, is kind of healthier than that, right? So
Yeah.
most of the juice diet is like they are juicing the stuff and they are getting rid of the fibers from the fruit and all. They are just drinking the sap, the liquid from the fruit, right? So
Yeah.
it actually doesn't work in a good way. The fiber is the thing that helps us digest the stuff really well. It helps us to clean our stomach and stuff like that will be there. And we are throwing out all the things. Even if you're going for a juice at a juice center and all, we are just throwing out the main ingredient, the fibers from that.
Yeah.
The
And they're
fibers
adding
really helps
water
us
to it.
for the digestion and cleaning our, yeah. And what it helps us to clean our digestive system really well rather than going for pills to clean our stomach, right? Have a fruit that has good kind of fiber content. That'll help you to clean your abdomen and gut really quick.
All right.
And
So instead
yeah,
of going for
so
this cleanse,
what
just
you asked
eat
was
the whole
about the
food.
juice diet. Yeah, instead of going for the juice thing, go for the whole fruit. So it will be filling at the same time. You will have all these benefits too. What if you're going for that juice diet, right? And once you are getting rid of the fiber, it's just a junk drink because
Yeah.
it only has it has vitamins and stuff, but it's more of the sugar, fructose, the fruit sugar, right? It's
Yeah.
it's mainly that. And once you're drinking it in a gulp, okay, and you're finishing it in a moment, and it starts rising up your sugar level. It depends on the fruit, okay. If you're going for what watermelon kind of stuff, is fine, but what they don't use that in the juicer, right? But if you're going for something like pineapple or something like that, once you're getting rid of the fiber, then it's like a sugary drink, and it'll spike up your sugar levels and what your once your sugar level is up, you will start building fat and it'll mess up the stuff. So there's a natural way of having food and stuff. So we have to focus mainly on that. So don't throw out
Okay.
the fibers. If you're going for a juice diet, instead of that, consider having a fruit diet.
I see. I see.
Even fruit
Actually,
diet is not a good thing, but considerably it's good
I
when
see. I see.
comparing it.
What about supplements? I've had a lot of friends come to me and ask me, is this product good? Or is this product good? Or, is creatine good? What are your thoughts on that? Do
Yeah,
you think it's really necessary for a, normal person who's trying to be fit?
like yeah, supplement is the least thing that you have to consider while training at it, train training for your goal. Okay, unless you are going for something like a professional bodybuilding event or something like that. Supplement is the least thing. The first thing what you have to consider is the way you sleep, right? The hours you spend for sleeping, the way you take care of your body, the what the amount of water you drink. That's the first preference you have to give. Then comes what workout and stuff. And if you're considering it into a five-layer thing, this will be the one that you should give least importance to. And among supplements, like it's mainly what can I say? Like it's a marketing stuff. Like people nowadays, they don't focus on having a whole food. Rather than that, they are like they think as if they don't get whey protein, they won't get muscle, right?
I know. I see.
So it's just a marketing conditioning going on over there. Actually, you don't need, especially for an individual who is trying to get a body transformation and all. He doesn't need a whey protein, and in it itself, it's written that it's a supplement. So we have
Yeah.
to consider it as a supplement. People over here, they are considering it as a whole food and having whole food
Replacement.
as a supplement. Yeah,
They're seeing
that doesn't
protein
actually
powder as
work.
a replacement. I see.
Yeah, and we are against this processed foods, right? Uh, People all over the world are against processed food, and one of the most highly processed food is whey protein, and we have no problem taking that. And
Point.
we have to consider all those steps, right? And yeah, and if you're a busy person, right, you are not able to get all those foods and all, then okay, then it's fine to take a supplement. I personally prefer taking whole foods.
Yeah.
Until I reach a competition or something like that, I need some additional proteins and all, then I'll go for a whey protein or something like that. But mainly, like 80% of my diet or 90% of my diet is mainly filled with whole food.
Yeah. So basically,
And
a
I
chicken is
even
more
yeah,
beneficial. A chicken is more beneficial
yeah, yeah,
than a whey
yeah,
protein.
Yeah, no doubt.
No
Like
doubt.
whey protein, it's easily, yeah, it is easily digested and all. But see, before these proteins were coming, right, were into markets, there were people who had like Herculean bodies over here. We have to like acknowledge that kind of stuff over here, and this complete marketing conditioning stuff, it really hits everyone's mind and makes them insecure. Like, until we have a protein, nothing makes change. That's just marketing conditioning stuff.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So we have to like put it in the right place, but it will take some time because like many people are after it, right? So
Yeah.
if you are telling them don't take whey protein, they won't get that complete idea in the beginning. Like
I
later
know.
on,
They'll
they'll
be like,
understand that.
we are wrong. We are on the wrong. Whenever you say you don't need
Yeah,
protein,
yeah, that's it, that's it.
they start questioning us.
Yeah, like it's, yeah, that's it. Especially my clients over here when they're saying which protein should I take, and I'll go like directly. I'll say like, oh, don't take proteins right now. What? And they're like, no whey proteins. No, no, don't go for it right now. And like, if you want, we can take it later. Just try to stick on to the whole food stuff and try to have enough water and sleep. Then we'll see how your body is gonna change. So
Yeah.
I make sure my clients don't get into those kind of stuff. Like, yeah, they do use, but I'll make sure that they don't use it for at least 3 months, the first prior like first 3 months. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I have to make them understand like they are able to transform their body without the supplements and all. Because the marketing stuff is still going on. If I'm not letting them take that stuff, right, eventually they'll be going. I'm trying
Yeah.
my best not to get them into supplements and all.
I see. Even we
But
had the
eventually
same
the marketing
conversation.
conditioning will.
We had the same
Yeah,
conversation when I was also bodybuilding. You were like, you're
yeah,
wrong, totally wrong, and we had like an hour or 2 hours of conversation just by this. I remember
yeah, it
good
was a
times.
debate going on over there, right? Team protein versus team non-protein. No, team whole food. It was a long debate going on there, but it's a bit hard to convince people about it.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay, another myth that keeps going around is the keto diet, the intermittent
yeah.
fasting, and all those diets that are going around. How much use or how useful is it for an individual?
See, it's the intermittent fasting is a good thing. Keto is a good thing. Everything is fine. Okay, but it's actually an easy way of doing a diet. If you can like control your normal diet in a particular way, right? Having a right amount of protein, carbs, and fat, you can have a normal amount of food. If you're considering this macronutrient stuff in the right manner, no need of going for keto diet and intermittent fasting. Eventually, when we look at the calculation, eventually the what it leads to the same results
On
rather
the
than
long run, it's the
like
same thing.
it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just the what? It's just like it's easier to do. Like you don't have to bother much about the calories and stuff. Like just go for keto stuff. And all. But keto is not like I don't recommend keto for most of the people. Like you have to get used to that pattern because ketos are something that's getting worse nowadays because people only go for protein and they consider fat and carb has some kind of enemy stuff and they
Yeah.
only go for protein and the kidney starts to get like what shut down and all. So it
Oh,
eventually gets into like pretty much whatever the worst things are there, everything they are gonna grab through keto if they are not doing it in a monitored manner.
I see. So can you tell us some bad effects of these diets? Like, because people always hear the good side. They never hear the bad side of these things.
Yeah, bad sign is like they are doing the diet on their own, like reading
Yeah.
some stuff from internet and all. And this is what I said. This is a simplest way I can say that because people consider protein as a good thing, carb and fat as a what negative stuff, and they don't take enough carb and fat in their diet, and they only stick on to protein. If you're only sticking on to protein, you will have what you lack energy. Your body functions are not working properly because I said earlier there are fat soluble vitamins and minerals in our body, and those kind of things plummet down. They'll go down, and your kidneys will have to function more, uh, getting the
So there's
uric
going to be a
acid
lot
stuff.
of hormonal
Uh,
imbalance going on, right?
Not a hormonal imbalance, like you can really see like you can see the person is gonna die. Like you can see their death coming into their face. You can see their eyes started to sunk in and all.
I see. So they
It will
start
take
to
some
feel a
time.
lot
Like
bad.
yeah,
They feel
so
bad and they're very depressed. They get
they
depressed and
start
all that.
first, initially they start to look. Yeah, initially they'll have a really good change. I don't like I doubt that they'll have a good change in the first couple of weeks, and later we can start to see them like depleting on their energy levels. They won't be able to sleep well. Um, uh, we can see them we can see like what mood swings and all. And if
I
we
see.
check it the what reports like for like about last 5 years or something like that, we can see most of the death is due to keto diets. They'll be eating healthy but only protein foods, and most of the death happens due to keto diet. And
So
most of
they're
the
not
people
taking
like
the three
they'll
main
be having some
macronutrients.
kidneys. Yeah, we can't say macronutrient stuff. Like these people who are following a keto diet, they completely stick on to protein only food.
Yeah. So since they're missing
They'll
the
be
three
depending on supplements
macronutrients,
and
that
all.
causes other health issues, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Makes
they are
sense.
having that one macronutrient, that is protein. They are having that enough, but completely zero when we are looking into fat and carbohydrates.
Yeah. That's actually one of the main ingredients for our
So,
diet.
so, so, yeah, that's the thing. If you are trying to sleep, like if you're having a good amount of carb in our body, right, in our diet, and you will be able to sleep a bit more better than usual than going for only protein food. Eventually, you can see those changes, and you can like eventually understand like the role of carb and fat in our body.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Once we
That
cut all
actually,
this thing, you can read that person who is going for that keto diet and stuff, or only the
yeah,
protein food thing. Yeah,
I see. So people who are watching, be informed, hire a trainer, do it correctly because as you just heard, keto diets are one of the main reasons why people, I mean, even coach said you can die because you're focusing on keto diet. So keep it in mind and do your research properly.
yeah.
And then,
And just one more thing, like if you even if you're following keto diet, right, you can hardly do that for like 2 months. Hardly. That's the like longest thing you can do, like following a keto diet. After that, just go for a regular diet. At least do that.
yeah,
Otherwise,
cycle
it's
it out,
gonna like
right?
rip your body out. Yeah, like in a cycle manner, like for 2 months of keto diet and 1 month of normal food diet and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
It'll
that
make
your
you
body
function
can
more
be,
better.
makes sense. It's
Yeah,
makes
it
sense.
can readjust itself. Yeah.
Yeah. So, according to you, how do you think a normal individual should have in his food, to be fit? As you said, keto diets and all are not sustainable. So, for a sustainable, I mean, healthy individual, what is a good diet?
Good diet, right? Um, like if I'm going for this calculation stuff and all, like people are gonna stop their diet at this moment itself. So calculations are too complicated, and people don't want to get into complicated stuff. So what I do is I follow the rule of hand with my clients. Like you can even search that on internet, and it's like readily available over there. It's basically like you can have if you're a guy, you can have like one and a half palm size or two palm size of carb, like one palm size of carb and two palm size of protein and two palm size of what salads. That's the
Yeah.
easiest way we can calculate. And when it comes to women, just go half of it, like fish size
Uh,
carb, palm size protein, and one palm size salad. That'll be the easiest way you can calculate the stuff on your own. If I'm going for calculations, I'll be like, what? You get like 9 calories in fat and 4 calories in carb and 4 calories in protein, and the guy will be like, okay, I'm done. I'm not doing any diet. He'll get
I
back
know
to
it's
his
very
food.
complicated, right? As long as it's
Yeah.
easy
So
and you can do it every day, because
yeah.
I know
So the
diet
so,
is
so the
not
easiest thing is this: go for the palm rule. You can even search that on internet. It is like really simple to do that.
makes sense. So
Yeah.
everybody, you heard it from one of the greatest. Palm size better than any diet out there.
It's
You
easier
do
for
your
you
research.
to understand.
Yeah, do your
It's
research.
easier for you to
Understand.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I keep interrupting you. Sorry.
So do your research, understand, know what it is, and do it logically. So I think we have our 1 hour session, and I think we have covered everything that I've had and hope you guys benefit out of this. And very thank you to Mr. Ashwin PM, one of the greatest person I know, down to earth person. Uh, I don't know, there's no words to explain how good he is in this field and the passion for him, passion of fitness in him. And that always encouraged me to move on. Thank you, Ashwin, for coming here, spending time with
Thank you.
us, taking out valuable time
Thank
from
you.
your, load work that you have there in Dubai, and spending time with us to provide information on fitness. So moving on, secondly, I thank the Rajagiri Sports Club for conducting this event in a such short notice and giving us a good opportunity to help others as well as, get others in a good, healthy lifestyle in this new year. And then last but not the least, Inflore 16th edition. Thank you guys for letting us have this opportunity of conducting this event. Thank you. Have a good day. Happy New Year. Thank you.